Programs tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Barry, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you.
It's a toaster?
Dalek, you have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Is this world protected? So you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them? Hello. I'm the Doctor.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. He is the Doctor, and I'm very lucky, right? I'm very lucky. As that intro was playing, let me tell you, I had a build-up of a bit of a burp, right? A bit of a burp, a bit of a belch coming up, and I realized at some point I couldn't contain it. It's gonna blow, right? It was gonna blow, but I was just about to come on, so I'm not sure what I was gonna do. And then I let rip, and a rather large belch came out, right? And fortunately, it finished by the end of the clip. But however, there was a little bit of bit of an aftershock going on. Good evening, guys. Good morning. I have a bit of a shitty evening tonight. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is Erev Rosh Hashanah. That means the day before the Jewish New Year. So in the run up, oh God, it's so complicated. Everything is so freaking complicated. Everything is made by Jews, right? Why do Jews not have Christmas trees? Because if we did, the book we would need of laws about it would be about this thick, right? You could beat wells to there. So, okay, for minimally 4 days after Sabbath, you need to be saying these additional prayers called slichot, right? Which is a bit of a nightmare, right? But the Sephardim, the more swarthy, let's call them the original series Star Trek Klingons, right? That kind of swarthy, right? They Jews, right? So they're hardcore. They start for the whole month before the Jewish New Year. So we only do it for like between 4 days and okay. So essentially, if the Jewish New Year falls out on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, then you got to do like a full week plus those 3 days, so you get minimum 4 days in. This year it wasn't too bad, but anyway, the point is this: the day before. Oh, I know, and the time of it is supposed to is after midnight and before sunrise. I don't do that. I did that in the first one on Saturday night, as is the tradition, but I can't do that. No, too much for me, mate. But again, the Sephardim, the swarthy Klingon Jews, they do, right? They do. So I normally do it before my prayer group. So we start at 6:55 as opposed to 7:15, right? However, the day before, on Rosh Hashanah Eve, right? Jewish New Year Eve, you have an extra long one. It takes about an hour to do. Now, a lot of people do it at night, including me. So I have to go to the 10 o'clock prayers, which might mean I'm going to miss Dan. No, that's a pain in the ass. Never mind. You know what? I've got to send him a link. I'm not sure he's going to come on. He came on Tuesday, so I'm not sure he's going to come on again. But he's got streaming again tonight. Let's send him a link and see what goes down. Dan, here we go. Where is it? Fine. I'll send him a voice message rather than type out. Dan, how are you, sir? I hope you're doing well. I hope you find yourself in good vittle. I know that you're on my stream on Tuesday, but if you want to pop on again today, you are more than welcome, good sir. I am actually starting the stream right now, and I forgot to send you the link beforehand. Thus, Thus, this video note, which this audio note, I should say, which I'm sure you can attest if you do make it on, is not entirely uncommon. So anyway, here I'm going to send you a link. If you can make it, you're more than welcome. There you go, doink. Anyway, as I was saying, so I got to go to the it's the extra long slichot tonight, right? And then tomorrow, oh, there's so many things I hate. Oh, you do Hataras Nadarim, which is when you if you made any vowels and you got this, so you got to try and like void them, right? So what you do is you basically get 3 people sit in and they form a Jewish court, and then you get like another 3 or more people like crowd around, and you got to say this long thing. Go, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of mumbling. There's a lot of mumbling. Man, if you do not like mumbling, Judaism might not be for you, right? That's yes. There's a lot of mumbling. So you can, but when you look in the text of it, it's insane how detailed. Can I pull up a? Let me see if I can pull it up. How do I spell this? Hataras. Oh, it came right up, blimey. Hataras Nadarim text. Let's say it. Did I have it in English? Because it's insane how detailed it is. Where is it? Where's the text? No, not that one. Maybe this one. But this looks like it's going to be Hebrew. Here it comes. Is this it? Is this right? I don't know. No, that's not it. It just I do want to show you it because it shows you how crazily long it is. Oh, 1 second. Let's try Lubavitch, right? They're normally good at this stuff. Annulment of vowels. Where is it? Hataras Nadarim. The basic procedure for Hataras Nadarim is customary not to mention women, not to men keep them in mind. I can't find it. It's so insanely long. So you say this like huge, like declaration, and any vow I made in a dream, in a thought, was saying anything, not saying anything. You got to go this whole through freaking thing, right? And then the judges, and being part of the judges is a nightmare as well, because now you've got a paragraph, but you've got to say it in unison. You've got to say it 3 times over. And then after they finish, you say your bit, you say another bit. So a custom which I have X'd out ever since COVID is then visiting the mikveh, right? A mikveh is a ritual bath, right, that women go to mainly. Basically, when you get your period, you become ritually impure and you can't have sex with your good lady wife. And there's a whole bunch of other things, but all basically based around not being able to have sex with your good lady wife. So it's about every 12 days out of the month that you're not sexually active, right? And to become sexually active again, you go to this ritual bath called a mikveh, right? Men go to it occasionally as well. One time they go to it is the day before the Jewish New Year as like a spiritual purification, and the day before the Day of Atonement, which is 10 days later. Anyway, you might get spiritual cleansing, but bloody hell, it's like if you get there late, it's like going into chicken soup, right? Oh god, and Jewish chicken soup, right? Not only a weak, watery Gentile chicken soup. You get Jewish chicken soup with bits floating in it. It's disgusting. Oh, you don't want to be around naked Jews being naked, right? Look, we're not the good-looking Israeli Jews. No, we're the fat, floppy, Eastern European Jews, right? Not for us. So yeah, no, I've X'd that one out. That's a nightmare. Anyway, but we got everything's under control, sort of. Not really, right? Not really. Okay, so you have 2 full days of like long prayer services and huge meals, right? And every the first night we always traditionally do a beef Wellington, Yorkshire puddings, roast potato, peas, which I'm really kind of looking forward to all that this year. First time I had meat in months. I'm certainly going to have some beef Wellington. But like, so she got like that big meal to cook, and then she got like a lunch meal where you have friends coming over, where it's like we got this like a sweet potato honey stew thing, and there's just a gazillion things, right? She hasn't even started cooking yet, and also make special bread challah. And instead of like normally you do a braided one, but on the Jewish New Year you do a circly one, which actually will probably save time. Anyway, so she's got to get this all done between now and tomorrow night, right? So she's a bit freaked out. God bless her. I'm not getting involved, right? I'm staying out there. I'm staying under the radar, right? Yesterday, I did one of my big Rosh Hashanah jobs, and it was again a nightmare. Freaking nightmare. So the plumber was supposed to be coming, right? He says it's going to be there in about 10 minutes. Fine. I said, you know what? I'll start cleaning the silver. That's a good job to do while the plumber's around, right? And I have to corral the dog and the cat into my bedroom so they don't like bound out into like, God knows where. Anyway, so I'm cleaning. I end up cleaning freaking everything. It took me like, he got there like 2 hours late. But I cleaned all the silver. That was freaking nightmare. Everything's a nightmare. Everything, right? My life is a living hell, ladies and gentlemen, but reality reboots tomorrow night. Oh, I hope it reboots in something better. That's all I can say. I hope it reboots in something significantly better, or at least more fun, right? I could go for more fun, if not better, right? More fun. But like, I don't know. Everything is, there are good things, right? There are good, what do we have to look at? We have good and weird things here. And look at this. Good and weird. Where is it? So this is weird, right? This looks like a well, you tell me what this looks like. Like this looks like a giant or Godzilla coming in from the ocean. What the hell is this? Like what is that? That's crazy. That does look like Godzilla. But surely somebody would have mentioned it, right? I don't know. End of days, baby. End of days. Crazy things, crazy times. What else we got to look at? This is fun just because it's like, well, I have quite a lot of respect for everybody involved in this. This is a crazy wedding fight. And yeah, when you get a wedding fight, they're often insane, right? They're often insane. This is fantastic.
Name your badge number. Hey, back up. Name your badge number.
Oh, look at that. Just into a complete swinger. Now it gets crazy.
Oh my God. Yo, Coops. Coops, get over here.
Oh, fuck you. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Kubi, get back. Kubi.
Darling, don't get involved with it, honey. What the hell? You're gonna get him beaten up.
Oh my God.
Okay. How did she get knocked out? What happened there?
Oh my God.
I just smacked her in the face and she's totally down.
Oh my God, you just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just knocked her out.
Yeah, it doesn't strike me these police officers have maybe the best training. She's still out. I mean, that's pretty hardcore.
Dude, her head just hit the pavement. Her head just hit the pavement, bro.
Yeah, that was a that was a crazy altercation. But there are some things that can warm. There's two videos I'm going to show you that's going to warm the cockles of your heart, right? And they really will. This is lovely. Check this out.
I believe that my dog's a vegetarian. We're gonna see which one she likes.
Darling, it's a carnivore. It's a dog. You're a weirdo.
I don't force her to eat her salad. We have
Want to bet?
this really gross beef, and then I have this delicious green salad. So this is Bonnie. She is my little vegetarian. Okay. No.
They like, yeah, it's a dog, you stupid bitch. What do you expect? Oh no, I don't force her. I just don't give her me. Look how far she devoured that. Like, fuck me. Oh, at last. I bet that dog had a raging hard on as it was eating that, even if it was a lady. God bless her. And wrong thing. But and as we're in doggy mode, this is very cute, right? This is just sweet. I think it's the first time he sees a mirror. Oh, I don't understand how anybody could possibly be cruel to animals. It's like, ow. That is a cute doggy. That is a cute dog. Yes. I like dogs, baby. I like dogs. What can I tell you? What else? We have a whole bunch of weird stuff to look at. Well, that's good. That's good. It looks like Biden's finally going down at last, right? He got all these places saying that, okay, time's up, Joe. Like all the left wing media's like saying, yeah. I mean, I think they're sniffing the impeachment, and oh boy, are they freaking out over that bloody impeachment. I mean, like, freaking out in ways. Here, do I have any good clips? Hang on. Freaking out in ways that I've never seen Democrats freak out before. I mean, like, do they not remember the whole Trump impeachment when they impeached him over literally nothing? Is this a good one? Oh yeah, this is, yeah. And I look, McCarthy must have been beaten into doing this, but I'm glad he was here. This is like, I'm just saying all the time. Like the media saying with complete confidence, there's no evidence, right? There's no, and they believe, they just say it to the face of whoever, and they believe that's right because they're morons, right? They don't know past their own bloody Twitter feeds. Yeah, let's check this out. Wrong thing. Hang on. There you go.
Inquiry is to get answers to questions. Are you concerned about all the stuff that was just recently learned? Do you have any concern? Have you asked the White House any questions?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe the president lied to the American public when he said he'd never talked to his son about business dealings? Yes or no? It's all right.
I can answer that.
You can't.
I can't answer that. Why? Because you don't want to be wrong. I can't answer that. Really? I mean, I can't. It seems to be a pretty darn simple question. Why can't you answer that? Like, everybody else knows the answer.
Answer that? Do you believe when they said the president went on conference calls? Do you believe that happened?
That's what the testimony says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe the president went to Cafe Milano and had dinner with the clients of Hunter Biden, who believes he
No evidence at all.
got those clients because he was selling the brand?
That's what the testimony says.
Okay. Do you believe Hunter Biden, when you saw the video of him driving a Porsche, that he got $143,000 to buy that Porsche the next day? Do you believe the $3 million from the Russian oligarch that was transferred to the shell companies that the Bidens controlled after the dinner from Cafe Milano took place?
So the testimony says.
Okay, then I go back. Do you think the president lied that he?
But is that an impeachable? Is lying an impeachable?
Well, you want to know. I'm not saying impeachment. All I'm saying is I would like to know answers to these questions. The American public like to know, and that's what impeachment inquiry provides.
Yeah, impeachment. Impeachment. I mean, look, it just seems like he's guilty as sin, mate. But yeah, I think they're going to get rid of him. Honestly, I think they're going to get rid of him because he's just too much of a liability now, right? I mean, he's just too much. He's crazily too much of a liability. Like, even with their insane amount of cheating, fortification of democracy, I don't see I think they don't see any way you can possibly win, right? I think that's basically where it is. By the way, The one guy like from the 70s show, the one guy who didn't do very good from it. Everybody else did. Ashton Kutcher did, Mila Kunis did. Everybody else did good from the 70s show, apart from the one guy at Hyde. He got convicted of multiple rape yesterday. I didn't see that coming. I'll be frank. Like, what is up with that, right? I don't. We live in strange times, mate. Just saying. Let's look at this thing from this. This is just breaking. This came out in the last 5 minutes. Jim Jordan releasing new subpoenas in the yeah. Look, this is death from 1,000 cuts, right? In a real visceral way. I mean, if I got to wade through bloody Hannity to watch this, I'm not sure I can, right? I mean, like, oh god, Hannity is a nightmare. I can't stand it. Right? I can't stand it, Foxy. Like, I've had this ongoing conversation with a neighbor who like just doesn't like Vivek, or he's a Republican, but he wants there to be like a DeSantis Haley ticket. I'm like, are you out your mind? Right? Are you out of your mind? That's not going to work. Like, how do you think it's going to work out? Honestly, how do you think that's going to work here? Jim Jordan. Let's see if this is worth watching. Doink. Share screen, video file.
Any and all of this. Well, if you listen to the war room of Joe Biden, you guys haven't found any evidence at all whatsoever. Would you like to respond to that?
Well, they're all the facts, John.
I mean, it's just so insane. There's no, I mean, and you remember, they kept saying there's no evidence of the 2020 election being stolen. No evidence. No evidence. Oh, nothing else there's no evidence of again.
John Tolman talked about all the facts you've talked about, Sean, but I think the 4 central facts deal with Burisma. Understand the basic pattern here. Hunter Biden had no experience, but he gets put on the board. No experience. Those are 2 key facts. Then he's asked by the people in Burisma to relieve the pressure that's coming from the prosecutor. He's asked to do that. There's a phone call made to the vice president of the United States. He then goes to Ukraine and does just that. He starts this pattern of attacking Shokin, who ultimately gets fired, and he leverages the American tax money to get that done.
Hey, 1 second, because a lot of people don't actually know this, which is, I find insane, right? I found this like completely insane. Where is this? Hang on. What folder I keep this in? If you haven't seen it, I want to show you the actual video of Joe Biden just flat out saying, yeah, I did that. Right? And like with like kind of pleased with himself. It's the weirdest thing. Hang on. Where is it? It's always finding the right folder. Is it in that one? Where's the folder? Now I can't find my bloody folders. Oh, here we go. This must be it. Here we go. Doink.
I was not but it just happened to be that was the assignment I got. I got all the good ones, so I got Ukraine, and
man, he seems so much more together then.
I remember going over, convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion.
Okay, again, I'm not giving you the $1 billion because you don't find the guy looking into Burisma, right? My son is now on the board of for no reason, and I've had conversations with the president of it. By the way, the president of Burisma fled the country during this investigation. As soon as he got them fired, the Chinenko, I can't remember the name of the guy. Soon as he got fired, he came back. As soon as Trump came into power, he fled the country again.
They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch.
I mean, like, literally, like that's not evidence.
That last fact, It sort of confirms what was in the 1023 that you just brought up, Sean. They said, we got policy preferences because we paid the Bidens. They were able to do that. That sort of confirms what's in the 1023. And then you add the final thing to it, which is how David Weiss and Merrick Garland and the Justice Department handled this investigation. The unorthodox way they handled this, to be kind, and the deal they put together that the judge declined to accept. So all that pattern is exactly why Speaker McCarthy said this warrants moving to an impeachment inquiry phase of our constitutional duty to do oversight. And that's
I really think they want to drag it out till next year and just have it go drip, drip, drip all through 24.
That's what we've done, and we're going to continue to push to get the facts and the truth out there.
And you believe the inquiry itself will aid in terms of maybe stopping some of the obstruction or lack of cooperation. When will we see subpoenas going out to Biden family members? James Comer's identified 9 Biden family members that benefited financially. He's identified all these shell corporations, all these suspicious activity reports, 9 family members, including grandchildren. I'd like to know what the grandchildren did for tens of millions of dollars. How much of the money did they get? How much money did they do in business with China, Russia, Romania?
I mean, like, what, really? There's no like, honestly, there's no evidence. It's cray, right? It's absolutely cray. Meanwhile, hang on, so look, this is going on. Washington Post published a front page article demanding that Joe Biden drop out the 2024 presidential election. CNN ran full segments to call out Joe Biden's long list of lies. I saw that. That was crazy. What does this mean when leftist news organizations assign reporters to hit Joe Biden? They know he's guilty and they're scared. Even worse, they know he can't win against Donald Trump, which is why they're trying to get him in prison. Even that, I don't think is going to stop him. Joe Biden is doomed, and there's evidence of it everywhere. But the thing is, why is anybody shocked? Right? I don't know why anybody is in any way shocked, right? It's the weirdest thing. Fine, let's get the chat. And there's a whole bunch of stuff I actually want to get to. There's kind of fun, interesting stuff we need to talk about, like Rusty Davies. Oh boy, Rusty Davies says some wacky things, shall we say? One second. What is that? I'm looking at, let me put up some eye candy. Doink. Yeah, doink. That's a pretty good thumbnail. I forgot about that. There you go. Share screen. Okay, one thing I found out though, that the Adobe AI doesn't like sex and swearing, right? Wouldn't let me augment either of these things. I did work rather hard. Nicola, you look wonderful, darling. Look, I understand we share the same bonkers gender ideology, but even I find you insufferable twats. Well, they are. I guess we're done with sexy Bond girls now. Well, it was fun while it lasted. I know. And Ahsoka. Oh, God. They did a live-action version of cartoon bits, and the cartoon bit was better. And the de-aging for Hayden Christensen, I thought, was excellent. Way better than Obi-Wan. Right? It was just absolutely excellent. But yeah, we got Rusty Davies ripping the piss. And I love they try and spin it in Radio Times as well, which is kind of fun. Blimey, I first again, says Colin Archer. Darling, you are first and you are number one to me, baby. Always number one. Lonnie is here. How you doing? Darren M is here. The Sovereign is here. Yes. You know, Shorty is gay. Oh, you thought, but we were the first lesbians to scissor in the TARDIS. We had a bed in the I was going to say the living room. We had a bed in the console room. Oh, you don't know what consoles we used. Oh, the Time Rotor of Love. Oh, it was chuffing great. It was stunning and brave. We spoke the love that dare not say its name. You mean you're gay? No, we weren't gay. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is there. How you doing? Hi, everybody. The Jody bots are not having Rusty Davies commented. I know. Oh, I love it. And I think I was trying to take the piss out of all of fandom. Where are we up to? TARDIS time is here. The J-Bots not happy. The J-Bots are never happy. right? They are never, ever going to be happy, right? Look, even if they get gender-affirming care, they're still going to be unhappy. That's how unhappy they are. The lion's share is there. I'd like your not avatar, what's the name? Handle. There you go. That's the trouble right there. That this is one of the symptoms of destroying everything in Nerdom and beyond, poisoning franchises and accusing the complaints of being toxic. Man, it's been on for years, isn't it? Right, years. But like, the lies just aren't working anymore. Like, you know, they keep saying, like, Biden literally says that the inflation is down to 2.4%. If you don't count in energy and food, if you count in energy and food, it's at 16.25%, right? But it's crazy. Like, but the lies just don't work anymore. On New Year's Eve, as the rest of us would call it. Ah, there you go, New Year's Eve. Your New Year's Eve is way better, mate. Your New Year's Eve, you get pissed, right? My as is say a lot of prayers. It's just not fun, mate. It's just not fun. The idea starters today. The idea starters. Thank you for joining us. If you thought yes, looks like Jordan's gonna be the next James Bond golf. Oh, me. Oh, the inverse of sexy, right? I mean, that just puts me off sex. And not many things do that, right? Not many things do that. And Jodie does. Jodie has the ability to make me not horny. Very strange. What's Russell Davis done now? We're going to read about it. He took the piss a little bit. And fans in general, but Jodie fans took it personally. Yorkshire pudding. Oh, I like bits floating in it, Rabbi. That is me, baby. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not funny. I listen. If you want to do the Jewy thing, go to a kiddush. A kiddush is like after synagogue between 10:30 11:30. You put out a little spread, right? You put out some kugel, some potato kugel, different types of kugel, different food, some herring. You want some herring? Herring is good. All good things. Lots of honey coming for Rosh Hashanah. They have honey in freaking everything. My dad, oh my god, yeah. So. My dad, who was heavily diabetic, loved the honey. Oh, it just crazily, right? So it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Like on Sabbath, when you start the meal, you do like a blessing over wine, and then you do a blessing over bread. And everybody needs to get a bit of bread, and you dip it in salt normally. However, from tomorrow for the next like 3 weeks, you have to cut up, and I get honey, and I pour honey on. I got a honey pourer thingy, but like. We had to take the honey pourer thingy off the table because my dad would just keep pouring honey on his bread, like the challah is called. Like, oh my god, unlimited honey. There's a lot of honey on Rosh Hashanah. Rabbi's middle name is Frank. Well, that has been said. When I lived in India as a lion's share, I thought it was funny how the rest of the world was covering U.S. elections. I don't get it, but oh well, because I think the U.S. is like the cultural center of the Western world, right? Which is one I follow. You guys have a lot of elections at random times. There was that one with Boris Johnson, Jeremy Corbyn, the Brexit before that. I don't live in England. I live in Israel, baby. Paul Towson is here. Hello, all, says Paul. Hello, and all says hello back to you, sir. Jonathan Cox is here. Is it true the American election vote has a space for the voter to enter a name? Yes. None of you can have a writing candidate. Never really works, right? Never really works. See, look, they had it all tapped down there and running pretty well. That whoever spent the most money won, essentially, right? There was never any surprises. And then Trump came along, and they thought there was no chance in a million bloody years of him winning. Obviously, Hillary Clinton's going to win, right? And he won, right? And they were like, what the how? How? I don't understand, right? I don't understand. And if they thought he had a chance, they would have fortified democracy, in 2016. So instead they did in 2020. And again, I don't know how dumb you have to be to not be able to see through that. But I don't know. I do find the Democrat voters to be very, very, very low information and generally speaking, quite dumb, right? I really do. They're just we must impeach Donald Trump for asking if Joe Biden was corrupt, and now we found he's corrupt, so we shouldn't impeach Joe Biden because there's no evidence of it, even though we got tons of evidence, right? Okay, and I don't really know what to do with that. Frankly, I'm like, well, that's all just a bit weird, mate. It's all just a bit weird. What can you do? We do live in strange times. Fine, let me get back to the chat where I said Paul Townsend is hello to. Dub that dare not speak as they, you mean straight heterosexual? Well, that's what it is in the world today. Ian, to dig it. Oh yeah, that dog was cute. Fine, caught up with the chat. Fine. First thing I want to talk about is this. There's a few things, but let's do something a little bit geeky first. You know, we can because I finished listening to The Adventures of Luther Arkwright, Volume 2, Heart of Empire. And, I want to listen to the Doomsday trailer as well. Oh, that's going to be funny. That is going to be funny. And we put up. Let's pull this up. Doink. 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 Fine. The Adventures of Luther Arkwright, Volume 2. Now, the first volume, this is 1623, which I think is pretty good value. First one is super duper good value, right? Super duper good value. First one is how much? $3.74. Yeah, get this. It's freaking awesome, right? So this is the second volume. So every time I review this, I don't really explain what it is. So I really and I realized why when I was going through it. There's a lot of world building here, right? There is a lot of very interesting, high quality world building. This comes from Brian Talbot's magnum opus to a great extent. This is like this incredibly dense sci-fi action and adventure. I wouldn't say romp, but tale, right? And so kind of imagine, right? You have to go back to the first one, but kind of imagine a interdimensional James Bond played by David Bowie. That is David Bowie in like 1972. That is the elevator pitch for what Luther Arkwright is. So the Adventures of Luther Arkwright, its main story because it's quite layered. Its main story is about a interdimensional conflict that's going on. You've got one dimension called 0000, where it was kind of like nice and groovy, and they have the most advanced. Then you got this is mankind, and it's like not held back. And most of the other parallel dimensions have been somehow controlled or infiltrated by these forces called the Disruptors. Right, so you got Luther Arkwright again, who's a very kind of cold James Bondian character who can leap between the different parallel dimensions in this greater war. Right, so the main story of it though is a side quest, which is weird. So I don't know how to pass that. Is the main story of Luther Arkwright and the people of 0000 versus the Disruptors the side quest, or is the meat of this story? So it's hard to tell, but basically basically you have the bulk of this story takes place in this one parallel dimension where Cromwell remained in power, right? The Cromwellian family remained in power and become like this fascist despot. And they were upheld by these disruptor forces. So the essential plan is to create a crisis in this parallel dimension that would mean the disruptors would have to send their shock troops in, the rooks. And doing that, the 00 would be able to find their secret base of operations, right? So that's the basic essential idea of it. But the you got the main character Luther Arkwright, who's really quite aloof, good looking. Like in the first part of it, in the first third, I would say he had this great costume of this World War II flying jacket with like this big fur collar, big leather jacket, and it was very like sci-fi meets steampunk with just fantastic artwork, right? Just absolutely fantastic artwork. One of his companions was Rose Wild, who had the ability to be able to contact the different parallel cells on across the dimension. But like, so you got this famous opening bit again in the first one where they're in a crystal palace and they're like stalking out some like disruptor forces, and there's a firefight between Luther Arkwright and Rose and these two like dodgy disruptor guys. Again, beautiful artwork, and the Bayeux tapestry gets destroyed, and then it cuts to this like reasonably erotic. There's a lot of erotica in the original graphic novel, right? Where you got like Rose Wild. I think she's just wearing a fur coat after they've had like quite vigorous sex by the looks of it, right? And there's lots of like pseudo meditation going on as well. Also, you get this wonderful flashback bits in these 2-page sequences throughout the first book, which tells you about Luther Arkwright's past, how he was raised in this very sterile environment. He was basically kidnapped by these disruptor forces when he was born, because again, he's got this natural ability to pass between dimensions. And so he was raised by, in these sterile disruptor base. And then he found out about who he was, and he just instinctively threw himself across the dimensions, and he ended up in our world, essentially, from what I could tell, right? So, and you have his story like interspersed, but the main bulk of it takes place, as I said, in this with this revolution against Cromwell by royalist forces. So that's what the whole book is. That's what the first one is. This is a sequel to that, which takes place again, focusing on this parallel dimension. So it feels somewhat like a side quest again, and it does feel like a bit of a Monster of the Week thing, right? There are some significant changes made from the original. One really dumb that really annoyed me, right? Because we live in an age where we must have lots and lots of diversity. And this was a very diverse book, right? And female star, essentially his daughter, and female villain, female antagonist. Like, there was a very blended group of people, like a very blended cast. So for some reason, they took what the henchman character and they made them into sex swap them, and for a reason that I just can't understand. Right? It just seems like, but why? Right? It's messing up the balance. It does mess up the balance of the whole thing. And also, one of the henchmen was like somebody what was it? One of the Cray twins was like the villain's henchman. Anyway, so that race swap, a sex swap, I think, was just pointless and irritating and very current day. They also stripped out another couple of things from it, which I really like, and I don't really know why. There's a very cool Vatican assassin in the original one, like opens up with him, whose job is to assassinate the Queen. And you got that whole plot that's taken out. They had a reporter from the first book who's back in this second book, and he's with a younger black reporter, right? A younger black female reporter, and it's basically looking at the crux. This is like 20 years after the revolution, so it's coming from the Puritan forces are very black and white and sterile. But so there's been an explosion of life and color and art and like just craziness, which is not crazy. There's life again after this period of repression. There's been an explosion of life, but also there's been this deep corruption baked into this new society. Again, this is like after the good guys won. It's 20 years later, and the good guys are rotten as sin. So the one of the main characters of this was Queen Anne, who had gave birth to 2 children on the battlefield in the climax of the last one. So this is again 23 years later, and it focuses on the kids were Luther Arkwright's kids, right? So Luther Arkwright came out towards the end of it was a the next step in human evolution, Homo novus, I think they called him. So which these kids were as well. So the main block of this sequel focuses on his daughter, who is the Prince Royal in a entirely corrupt alternate universe, right? Do you see how much work I had to do to get you there? How layered and how complex the world is, right? But again, they missed out a couple of things which I really like. The Vatican assassin, who I really liked. And also, you had this reporter and his black, not girlfriend, this black female reporter that went with him, and he got into like the institutionalized racism that was brought into society. Like, there's a scene where there's a slave market. Well, are you trying to say that Luther Arkwright is a tomorrow person? Exactly. Just puts his hands on the hip less often, doesn't have any hair, and has a lot more sex than John. And that's a not a high bar. And I'm not talking about just with himself. So anyway, so the one of the biggest hurdles I think I had to get over in this is that Luther Arkwright himself doesn't actually show up till the last third of it. It's all about his daughter's journey, finding out the corruption in the society that she's a leader of, and her own psychic and interdimensional abilities. Right, so they get around that really, really cleverly. Firstly, there's a lot of narration. So narration, because why didn't want to have Luther Arkwright in it? Because it's played by David Tennant. If you got David Tennant on it, you want to hear David Tennant. You don't want him to turn up in the last third. So the narration is done by David Tennant, which is a good conceit. But also on parallel 0000, you have this like big supercomputer called Wotan, not the same one from the War Games. And when he makes a physical avatar for himself, it's David Tennant doing Luther Arkwright. So he's basically able to be in it for all the discs, which I thought that was quite clever. I just realized this. The character I like, for some reason, he's on the front bloody cover. What the hell? He's the bald guy at the front. He's not in it at all. That is just, it's a crime. India Fisher plays Queen Anne, the Victoria's mother, completely corrupt and sexually leeching off everyone of the Scots Guards. In the comic, it was a lot more graphic. Let me say a lot more graphic. So I keep forgetting the plot that they let out. So you got Hyman Kowalski, this news reporter with his black female younger reporter. They end up in bed together, and that's illegal, right? There's this like institutionalized racism. You have like the black slave market. So and they just stripped all that stuff out. And I would have thought that would have been catnip for the world today, because again, that's about social commentary done in a realistic, solid, holistic way. Because this was written in 1999, so way before the era of everything being unwatchable garbage. So it's interesting because it's been about 20 years since they did the first one, and some they wanted to get the same cast members in to play the same characters, but they're like some were retired, like Siri O'Neill, who was plays Rose Wilder, she had retired. So and they make a significant change to the ending, which I actually think improves it a lot, because without this change they did to the ending, it would have. I think the reason this volume of the comic failed more than the first and the very recent release, I think last year, the third volume, is because it feels like a side quest that's a monster of the week. But with the changes they made to the plot with the ending, I thought were very, very strong. They also cut out another really good little subplot where you have like these two nefarious people. Everything focuses around this big celebration of their revolutionary victory. But you've got like this German scientist and alchemist, and they're trying to, and they've worked out how to make a nuclear bomb, which they're going to detonate at the heart of these celebrations. And in the comic, they essentially when the villain's revealed to be like a mindless monster of the week, they teleport him to another parallel dimension with this nuclear bomb and destroy it that way. Again, it just felt a little bit. So the ending of this one I felt was much more holistic and optimistic. David Tennant gives a great performance, right? He really knocks out the park, and in general, the cast is very good. The woman playing Victoria, I thought was excellent. What's her name? Let's have a look. Was it India Fisher's the Queen is great, but who is Victoria? Georgina Helia, right? Normally these things are a bit like you have like younger actors a little bit dodgy. Not so much, right? Emma Williams, yeah, not that's the sex swapped Northumberland who was like the second tier villain, in this. And that you do have some like, how can I explain it? Like revolutionary hippies staging a demonstration, but it does come off a bit like Professor Joe Jones in the Green Death, Doctor in the Green Death, right? Where he's like saying down with fascism or down with capitalism. It's a little bit clunky, right? But I tell you, in terms of entertainment, I like this world a lot, right? I like this world a lot. I like this adaptation of the world a lot. I'm really glad they did a second volume. For me, it's a recommend. I think 1623 seems a very reasonable investment, but the other one at like under a $5, freaking awesome, right? Look, what can I tell you? I'm very Jewy, and I can't take the price out of things. Like if something like like my wife's doing our list for my son's wedding right now as a spreadsheet, and we're talking about if we want to invite my brother-in-law's kids, and it turns out to feed 6 of them is going to cost me about 1,000 shekels. That's what, like about $300. I'm like, are you out of your mind? No, I'm not spending $300 on feeding 6 kids. No, that's crazy, and that's with a discount. That's with 2 of them eating free. It just seemed a bit crazy to me. So I can't really divorce myself from the financial ramifications of it, no matter how hard I try. But I think 1623 is definitely fair for the download. If this is a world you haven't got into yet, I really recommend it. Right, really, very much recommend it. Why they didn't put out a video of the? I'm not going to make a video of the trailer. But oh, we're back. There you go. I was just gonna. I was just looking at if I was gonna put a sketch on or something. No, but thank God we're back. There you go. So I don't know where it froze up, but essentially this is a very interesting world, very layered world. I would recommend it. Certainly check out the first one. Great performances, great cast. Look, I missed, but Paul Darrow being the villain in the first one was fantastic. But okay, it looks like we're back now. Yes, this one's a recommend, right? This one's a recommend. What I don't think is going to be a recommend, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is this turgid mess, right? Which is almost certainly going to be a turgid mess. Where is it? On the wrong thing. The day has come. The time has come to try and flog us more Doomsday, right? More Doomsday. Somehow they're going to try and flog it to us. It's thinking about it. Am I still frozen? There you go.
From Big Finish.
Okay, firstly, I like the idea of having Suze Kepner on the front with her moronic, somewhat sadistic, simplistic smile is beyond me, right? It's completely beyond me. I don't like. I would love to. I would love to have the people from BBC Studios come on my channel and interview them and say, "What were you thinking? How on earth did you think this was going to be anything other than the disaster it's been?" I understand you like Suze Kempner because she shares your political bigotry. I hate to be the one to tell you this, that she's been wrong about everything, right? Again, just hold, just sit down and tell yourself that Donald Trump was a very good president, right? We had world peace and we had the best economy ever, right? She was wrong about everything, right? He's the most supported Republican president in the black community ever, right? She's wrong about everything. She's hateful. She's not funny. All she does is make you be able to laugh at people that you hate, and you shouldn't laugh at people you hate. So anyway, Doomsday, God love him. God love him. God love her. They put out the first trailer, and it was just awful. And no, I didn't know anything about politics at all, right? Basically everybody en masse went, what is this shit, right? This is for the anniversary? No one gives a shit. This is awful. And that's when her politics came out, right? When she just started attacking everyone who was legitimately criticizing her. And she just got her ass handed to her over and over again. So here's the interesting thing. This was recorded very recently. Normally, Big Finish record things like 2 or 3 years in advance, right? This was recorded very, very recently. Look at everything they're doing to beg you to buy this. You've got the Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor. You've got Charlie Pollard. You got what's the name? Rosa's mum, Jackie Tyler. Everyone loves Jackie Tyler. You have the Silence. You've got the Dalek Master Plan stuff, right? I mean, you've got literally so many things begging you to buy this, and it's not going to work because you've got that idiot face in front. Big Finish is going to lose money on this one.
From Big Finish Productions, the worlds of Doctor Who.
I don't know what this woman has got to do with the worlds of Doctor Who.
Doomsday.
It's the Doomsday for this release, mate.
Down and, well, I won't say safe yet. Down and not immediately dead will do for now. So.
Oh God, you're not cute, Sue, darling. You're not cute. I wish you would know that.
So, what next, Terry?
Tracking data upload into your scanner.
Any intel on the target?
No, you'll find out when you find them.
Okay, she's the best assassin in the whole. Let me just give you the background of what the idiot story is with this. She's the bestest assassin in the whole universe. And now literal death is coming after. We've never seen anything like that before in Doctor Who, right? Just like it doesn't make any sense, right? Does not make any sense whatsoever. Literal death. And so she thinks the Doctor can save her, although nobody understands why. And so and for some weird reason, each assassination job is she only has an hour to do. And she's got 24 hours to live, so she's going from job to job to job, hoping that she'll find the Doctor, right? Weirdly, and again, none of this makes sense, right? That's the backdrop of these stories of doom.
Hold on to your hat!
But Zephon, yeah, not wearing it.
It's like nails on a bloody chalkboard. And again, normally, if it's like a Tom Baker trailer, you don't hear them to about halfway through. Sue's front and fucking center. Oh God, she's awful.
So you're really the Doctor? You?
Yes, I'm the Doctor. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, you don't.
Because you're not.
Don't act like him. Them.
Well, change brings change, doesn't it? Clearly, I'm a more proactive incarnation than you're used to. That's all.
I'm in danger.
God, she's in it.
You've been here all along, haven't you? misdirecting us.
Please kill her. Just please. I mean, not the Suze, obviously, but just the character. Just kill her now.
You will obey my commands.
I will not. I obey.
Look, darling, I've seen your Twitter feed. All you do is mindlessly follow, right? It's not going to be hard to control your head.
What is your purpose on Sanfia?
To kill Charlak.
She's got pictures of the crowd. Some kind of list.
Yeah, she saw my face among them and assumed I was a member.
The Doctor's not a crowd member. He's made stopping them a personal mission.
Okay, thank God that Stranded came along and you had to have Paul McGann as a companion fall in love with somebody who lived in a house in London in 2020 who was a woman, totally normal woman. Liv Schenker was a woman as well, so she was a lesbian, although she was bisexual. And this woman had everything, right? Poise, demeanor, and a penis, right? And a penis. That was the point where I basically dropped it, right? Because it was just like, I don't want to be preached about your weirdo non-theistic religion. So I stopped becoming a Paul McGann completist, and I really stopped buying the range almost altogether. Occasionally I do, right? Occasionally, if it's something that looks in. I'm still not sure about getting this new reboot they're bringing along, bring up in a few months. But it makes it so much easier to give this one a firm ignore.
Doctor, who is this fool?
The name is Doom, and you have a very unfortunate mouth.
And you have a very unfortunate mouth. Really? That's like you say to a hooker who's giving you a bad blowjob.
Get out of my way, Doom!
I really wouldn't.
And calling this character Doom was just stupid.
Pull that trigger if I were you.
Yeah? Well, you're not me!
Thank God we're not you. I'm bored already, and it's like a minute trailer.
5, 4, 3. Be good to each other. Bye!
Be good to each other. I'm an assassin and kill people.
Big finish for the stories.
For the love of Christ. And we didn't even hear any Jackie Tyler, right? What the hell? Oh, like just so deeply, deeply awful. It's beyond belief. It's beyond. It really is beyond me, right? Let me just clean up some windows. What else we got to look at? We can have a quick look at this. I mean, like, what? Why was Suze Kempner hired? Because she bangs on constantly about transgender thing, which is on brand for the BBC, right? It's basically the only thing the BBC really cares about. Like, don't talk about anything negative about gender affirming care. So apparently 10 hours of content about singer Roisin Murphy, who which was due to be aired next week on BBC, have been axed and replaced with woke content after she criticised puberty blockers on radio program. She has been removed from BBC Sounds. Like you just got to remove the unconformity. No. So what was the things that she said, right? So celebrated, and again, what's wrong with criticising puberty blockers? You know, this is something used to chemically castrate rapists. Right, it's not something I think you should be giving in large quantities to children. Right, I think that might have some downside. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but like, I don't really trust the science that's backing this up. Frankly, especially now it seems to be getting more dodgy by the bloody second. Let's see if we can find what she said. Instead, the new shows have been made to feature woke rapper Little Sims. Oh, God. Transgender use that prevent puberty absolute desolate big pharma laughing all the way to bank. I tend to agree with her, right? Used for little mixed up kids. And she also has children to be protected. That we are not protecting children from these perverts, right? And I say perverts, I'm talking about, the pedophiles who are coming in under the guise of, kindness, which I've showed many examples of. Murphy requested that people do not call her TERF or trans-exclusive radical feminist, which is the term used as a pejorative against, So essentially, again, BBC Sound just lost their shit, right? Here, this is a story we've got to look at. I forgot about this. What's her name? I think this is it. If not, I'll look. I looked up earlier on my phone. It is no, one second, I'll find it. Because this is really, really brilliant. Where is it? It's I was nearly there. Hang on, how do I share this? Doink. Should do the trick. Oh, I think just look it up better. Let's see if it's going to come. Come on. Yeah, okay. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. I'm terribly sorry for the delay. Oh, they're all pain in the ass. I can tell you. Let's get back to the story. Right, because we get into the most important stories here. This was just funny. If you didn't count who live stream sex videos draw support from women and Democrats. Like, this is not the original one, right? Yeah, so yeah, can I share this from my phone now, maybe? Have a look. Doink. Doink. See? It's waiting. Oh, here it comes. There you go. This is just crazy. Susanna Gibson refused to drop out of Virginia race after video murder her performing sex acts with her husband online for tips. I mean, like, just for tips. I think it's kind of good. Democratic candidate, a mom of two, 40, says Republicans are trying to silence women. I don't think so. Look, she's hot. Don't get me wrong. Attractive. You know, she looks better naked. Not often you say that. But yeah, she was on. What was the website? It's not OnlyFans. It was the other one. Illegal invasion of her privacy. No, look, you had sex on camera on a what's the name of the site? For like which wasn't password protected. I think it was. Where was it? Chatterbait, I think. And what was that? Okay. I think 40 doesn't look so great there. Looks better there. Looks best there. But no, I think I prefer the ones where she's. Oh God, piss off. Yeah, no, I like the ones where she's clearly about to have sex. That's the way to go. I don't know. Listen, sign of the times, baby. It's where we live. We live in weird times. I don't know what to tell you. We live in very strange times. Fine. Let's speak of strange times. Oh, Eddie isn't. Like, get over it, mate. Get over it. Let's go a bit of Doctor Who magazine. Doink. We'll do a general review first, and then we'll get into the musings of Rusty Davies after. This issue seems a bit crappy to me on first glance, right? It doesn't seem to be so great. Yeah, there you go. So, I don't know. For me, I found all my excitement for Mel has really bubbled away along with my excitement for this entire era, right? Because the only thing I hear us talking about is trans rights and gay rights, right? I don't hear him talking about, Zygons, right? It's all about trans rights, gay rights. That's the only thing I hear. And look, let's be fair. Mel on TV was relatively awful, right? The trouble was this: she was a cookie cutter companion that came in at the fag end of the Philip Hinchcliffe era, not Philip Hinchcliffe, Eric Saywood era, right? Where Eric Saywood hated John Nathan Turner, he hated Colin Baker as a Doctor, he just hated everything about it, and her lack of having any real character, you felt it rather keenly, right? Like she really didn't have much of a character at all. She was, I think, brought up a lot on Big Finish, and also like when Andrew Cartman came along, that I don't think he during his first year, he really didn't know what to do with Doctor Who, right? As is pretty darn obvious from. Well, the product they put out. But okay, we're gonna do a quick look at Mel on Big Finish, which is where she really came together. All these stories are excellent. Fires of Vulcan, one of my favorite Sylvester McCoy stories. It's so good, right? It's really so great. It's a good historical set in Pompeii on Volcano Day. Maybe he bumped into Peter Capaldi and David Tennant. Bang Bang a Boom is a cute little Eurovision Song Contest parody. The One Doctor is about a guy impersonating the Doctor. Flip Flop is a clever release where you can listen to either disc in either order. Unbound Jessup Scars, freaking awesome. That's the Valiard if he won Trial of the Time Lord, and she is freaking awesome in that, right? Absolutely awesome. Juggernauts is yeah, all these ones are good. Juggernauts, Catch 1782, Unregenerated was kind of dull, I have to say. Thick in the Water, Red, The Wishing Beast. So these ones, unfortunately, they're too expensive. They should be $374 as well. But this was an excellent trilogy, right? The Wrong Doctors, Spacebook Fear, and The Seeds of War. Excellent trilogy. So I think she's been very much resurrected on Big Finish in a bit, and to a point where I'm happy to say also, like, you know, she's not the annoying kid from Just William now. Now she's had a lifetime career of just being game and up for doing a great job, and I think she delivers great. So I think we're all happy to see her back. But boy, there's a lot of filler in this week's issue. So firstly, we got a new editor, Jason Quinn. Shall we see what he has to say? Jason Quinn. Hello, okay. Oh, new teeth and hair. Great. That's weird. So where was I? Just like the Doctor, the editor of Doctor Who magazine are prone to regenerate. Tom Spilsbury, not Tom Spilsbury. Who was it? I can't remember. But he was the editor for ages. Wait. Who was the last editor? We'll go over here. Like for years and years. It's like since Clayton Hickman, I think. Let's have a look. Who's the editor? Marcus Hearn. Is it Marcus? Yeah. He was the editor for years. Like years and years and years. Let's face it, it's all been pretty great. Right from Deskin in the very first issue, which I remember queuing up for in 79. The ever suave Alan Bars, Tom Spilsbury, the unflappable ageless Marcus Hearn. I missed out plenty of them as well, blah, blah. So anything he has to really say? The recent issue of Doctor, in the recent issue of Doctor magazine, Rusty Davies revealed how he pictured the editor of this magazine puffing a pipe and sitting back on a back chair. What's he done though? Has he any like connection to fandom? I don't know. Let's see how it's going to go. Anyway, there's a new editor. I don't really like this thing where they tell you who's in this. L'Oreal Hart. I've never heard of her before. Scott Gray. He wrote all the comic strips. Let's give a warm welcome to our newest writer, L'Oreal Hart. L'Oreal is a recent graduate literature student and a writer from Brighton. Well, that's a lot of strikes against you, darling. But you do look pretty attractive in your wearing makeup, which is a step in the right direction. Let's just say that, right? Especially if you've ever seen Joy Wilkinson. Oh, my God. Always looks like her face has been sandpapered. And a lifelong Doctor Who enthusiast, all 23 minutes of it. She also loves classic sci-fi and horror movies. Big fan. Yeah, I'm being dismissive. It's not very nice. So I should really read the stuff first. Chris String, who's that? Is a child of the 1990s, aboard up the UK Gold Run, The New Adventures, Dalek Attack. 30 years on, he remains fascinated by Doctor Who, and he's going to talk about Magic the Gathering. God, no interest, right? Although, I do like the artwork they're producing for it, even though it seems a bit weird. Seems a bit strange. What we got? Okay, this is what I'm fucking sick of. Okay, it's like somebody screaming their insane religion to me. Okay, this is a woman with a penis. I understand. You don't think, you don't think it's a man with a mental disorder. You think it's a woman with a penis. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But can you stop forcing your fucking beliefs on me all the fucking time? Right? So there's an illustrated version of Rose coming out. I'm not really that interested. Frankly, I don't find it's the same guy who illustrated the Unearthly Child, and I don't think he's that interesting an illustrator. Frankly, he's very, very pedestrian. From going from the last, and I'm not being like a dick to him, but we're going to tell you. So I think this is the same crew as that did what's the name? The Evil of the Daleks, right? And they're by far the better crew in these animations. It's very hard to tell with these. It's very hard, hard to tell with when they're in color. Also, so when's this coming out? Do we have a release date? It'll be from November 20th. Fine, so it's coming out in November. Look, obviously I'm going to buy it, right? I got all the other ones. Yeah, I'm on board. But it's so weird. Like the news section now just seems so old, right? This used to be the thing that you would go to first. Not anymore. So toys and games. Yeah, these new figures are just weird. I don't get them at all. The Ultimate Adventure, Sixth Doctor, Revelation of the Revelation of not Remembrance of the Daleks. New annual looks reasonably cool, right? Looks better than the previous ones. In concert, yeah, they're doing a Doctor Who concert and kids aren't allowed. Oh, fuck off. Just so annoying. Purity Unbound, I'm bound by it because I'm not buying it. Couldn't give a shit. Lovely bit of artwork here. That's really good. Love that. Who did that? By Eleanor Yates. Really lovely piece of work there, Eleanor. Excellent, right? Really, genuinely excellent. With this new Daft Dimension? No, it's been the same one going around for a while. Quite nice bit of shooty art there as well. Okay. More Galaxy Forum. Letter on Showrunner. We'll come back to that because he enrages a lot of people with this letter. We will certainly come back to that tonight. In this selection of Who-related videos, we have the trailer for Underwater Menace. Pianist Jez Jurek plays incidental music of Doctor Who composed by Dudley Simpsons. An archive interview of young Bonnie Langford about a film in which she starred called Wombling Free. This is it. So Pit Madley demonstrates remarkable improvements in quality from various releases from the 69s of the Seeds of Death. And Josh Nez, who's not that popular guy, looks back at the infamous hoax, supposedly the missing episode of 10th Planet, episode 4. I remember that. Fine, we're coming back to the letter from the showrunner. This is the most, at least thank God it's down to one page. This is always boring. Scott Hancock's production diary. I'm always bored to tears. Like, literally always bored to tears whenever I read it. So what's this? Jonathan Davies is on board as a brand new assistant manager for Doctor Who. He tells us how it feels to have 6 years worth of props and costume assets at his fingertips. So look, that Dalek you don't need at your fingertips. They were awful. Everybody hated those Daleks. Along with the Paradise Tales robot. What's that? How do you have one of the cleaners? That's so weird. That like why would you have one of the cleaners? Why would that have stayed? Yeah, and other things been destroyed. I do not know, right? I do not know. So you got Sylvester McCoy revealing himself, in what was it? In on September 29th. I remember that because I remember that outfit Bonnie wore. I thought it was a bit weirdly, New World Order fascistic. Yeah, he got kind of like torn apart here on his first appearance of what was it? I can't remember what it was called, but it was some like feedback show, right? And it was uncomfortable. I remember it being reasonably uncomfortable. Fine, John Barrowman. Still John Barrowman. There's things in Dreamcoat Stars, in Joseph's Amazing Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I wonder what he's playing in that. I always wanted to see him play Pontius Pilate in Jesus Christ Superstar. Cheer up, Chris, mate. It might never happen. It already has. Not a happy camper, Chris Eccleston. I think that's fair to say. Not a happy camper. So yeah, now we got this link, and we'll go over this. Well, I'm not streaming on Sunday this week because of the Jewish New Year. On Monday, it'll probably be Tuesday. I think Tuesday we'll do a deep dive in this interview by Benjamin Cook. I know everybody hates Benjamin Cook because he's an absolute twat, right? We know, yeah, I get. He's also a very good interviewer, right? He's very good at interviewing, very good at running these things. So I'm not going to boycott something because the guy writing it is a twat. But this is a lengthy, in-depth article, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6-page article. That seems a bit okay. I mean, like again, we'll go over this again this week sometime. Over the next week, and then there's more about Mel. Every Doctor Who fan has their personal favorite companion. Laura Howard puts forward the case for Melanie Bush. Okay, this is the new writer. I would. Maybe we'll give this one a go over, right? Definitely, yeah. Yeah. It's it sounds like an interesting. What was it? An interesting brief she was given. Let's just say it's 3 pages. Blimey, they are milking this stuff for all it's worth. This is another kind of like throwaway article. What makes a great sinister system in Doctor Who? How do they get their dirty work done? Scott Gray investigates. This is just something that I would like. It's a kind of a throwaway thing. Blaze. I like Blaze from Dragonfire, played by Patricia Quinn, and she worked very well with the villain as well. I don't know. Colony staff should have been the Mara, right? Candyman was the main villain, wasn't it? I guess it was Helena. We all love Scobie, and Stoltz was great. Bit violent. Happiness Patrol weren't quite as sexy as they should have been. Toberman wasn't a villain. Commander Kess, Planet I don't even remember him at all. Yeah, don't remember any of these people. Packer, Packer was great. I like Packer as a villain, and Shocker as well. This guy was a bit lame. The one with Diana Rigg was a bit lame. It's all a bit lame, right? Do like this cover, but I got all the stories, so yeah, no, I'm not buying that. But I do like the cover. I think it's very nice. So this annoys me, right? Okay, Emily Cook did a good thing with the watch-alongs, right? They were great, but we have an article about the fucking watch-alongs. Look, okay. They were fine. They were great until Paul Cornell turned up and ruined them all, right? But and good. She's got more work at it. She got more opportunities, and she deserved it. We don't need another 6-page article, 5-page article about enough already. You did a good thing, Emily. Move the fuck on. And I like them, but move the fuck on. Enough already. Dan Slott, super lefty weirdo. So this is a weird thing. This was announced last year as a 2-part miniseries, I think, or 3-part, with the 10th Doctor and Martha, and then vanished. So now it's come back, and it's like $10 more expensive and a graphic novel. It was like 50 pages long or something. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying it. Leave me alone. Magic the Gathering, not really that interested. Do like this bit of artwork though, right? They do have some good bit, but no, I'm just super not interested. This is from Dead the Doctor, right? I think is this recreated? Probably. Again, I'm just super duper not interested. If you are, good for you. Another 5-page article. Bloody hell. So now we got the comic strip that just says part 12. It feels like part 120. Goes on for freaking out. But look at that. It's a nice bit of artwork there as well. I like the artwork. I'm just not interested in the game. This comic strip bores me to fucking tears. I'm just so done with it. The point of it is to get rid of Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS and Sonic Screwdriver. Right, that's the function of it, and just that, and meets lots of Dalek-y thingies. Okay, we've got 60 objects, 6 years. We're 2008. So what are we up to? Prom ticket. That's pretty good. Bristol VR bus. I didn't know they had a VR bus, a virtual reality bus, but okay. By the way, Michelle Ryan, great companion that never happened. Right. Always could go for more Michelle Ryan. Junkyard console, TARDIS console. Yeah, I love that, right? New Paradigm Dalek, quickly forgotten. Shame it didn't work out, right? It was great on paper, but they just didn't work out. Real pity. But this was a Blue Peter competition. And they made the fantastic I got the toy of it right up there. Junkyard TARDIS. This was a great story, great episode. The Olympic torch. He actually did carry the real Olympic torch. This always annoyed. This was like one of the many annoying things in the Fear Her episode. Like leave me alone. What's this from? Does it say anywhere? One sec. At the bottom. The Totally Doctor Who mini episode, Good as Gold. That's it. I remember that. So torch-bearing athlete Elliot Barnes-Wonsor and Weeping Angel together in the TARDIS to surprise the Doctor and Amy, Karen Gillan. Man, that was just such a happy time, right? I just very, very happy with Doctor Who at that time. Trial of the Time Lord, Part 13 and 14, The Ultimate Foe, gets Fact or Fiction. So this is actually a good one to do the Fact or Fiction of, because you had, like, this is the third version of it, right? You had a version of it written by Robert Holmes that was rewritten by Eric Saywood, that was rejected and then replaced by Pip and Jane Baker, right? And that's basically it. But there's a fair amount to talk about it there, right? And again, he jests at Scars. Do we over here? This is Doctor Who Unbound. So good. This is so freaking good. Bonnie Langford and Michael Jaston. What happens if the Valiard had beaten the Doctor? Strong recommend that one. But yeah, okay, fine. So this is the first thing of any interest I've seen in this whole magazine. Now, even the reviews are boring. Rose Tyler, Dimension Cat, not interested. Torchwood, not interested. This was good. The Martian Invasion of Planetoid 50. That was actually pretty darn good. It was a Paternoster Gang, 10th Doctor, War of the Worlds matchup with Missy. Right? It's everything you can want. It really was quite good. Teeth of Ice. Now, I like Dan Starkey doing a voiceover, but like, for me, it all kind of fails when you're, when you have the Doctor alive, right? And also when you have an AI version, you got Paul McGann, you get to read it, which would be, it will get me more into it, I'm afraid. Just like Dr. Alex stuff, the stuff he does with Capaldi reading it, I feel like it's a real episode. I will never feel like this is a real Doctor Who, right? I have the same confused expression on my face as Suze does. Super no interest, right? Super zero interest, not buying this. They got another Doctor Who in antiquity sort of thing going on. This one by Paul Maggs. Doctor Who and the Agronauts. Not interested. Otherwise, this is just tragic because this is a great cover, right? Absolutely great cover for a book that for a box set I'm never going to listen to. Not interested in the slightest. This is something they really give their like new writers B team to. So no, and I can't really see it going to a second series. But best of luck to them. Lisa McMullen, she's actually got quite a strong track record. And I because Big Finish hoisted so many very, very low quality female writers in my direction, I always like cringe whenever I see a female writer on Big Finish now. But she's actually reasonably good, so I shouldn't be that way. What's this? Something about Dr. Elizabeth Shaw. She's accused of treason in the later Third Doctor saga. But what else did the assistant get up to after the unit attachment? What is this? It's by Eddie Robson. On Intelligence 4, that's coming out next month. I am getting that. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, fine. And then there's The Beast of Scar Hill, narrated by Mina Anwar. Again, why not get somebody somehow connected? Dr. Rosa Stranded and a Snowbound Scar Hill Hotel. Night of Terrors unfolds. I don't even know what this is. And then looks like more Torchwood, I think. Not really interested. Do you think what's this? Crunching numbers. World's most underground infographic. So what are they trying to work out? Oh, these are the length of her episodes. I don't really care. I mean, it's a cute little graphic. But like, what? Total 67 seconds. What, of her screaming? I don't know. What's the total of? I'm trying to work this out. Mel Butcher's a scream, and we have the data to prove it. So in Trial of Time Lord, she screamed for 16 seconds. Seems like a lot longer. So it just seems like a lot longer. So next month, they're ramping up, actually talking about the anniversary specials. Bit Meet the Beep action. I mean, like, at last. Right? At last. But again, it's been, what we had to September, and a year full of shit. Best thing is, in terms of the anniversary, been Once and Future. And I think interest has just been weighing down to freaking nothing frankly. But insanely. Again, great looking cover. So sad that no one's going to buy it. And it is so sad. 85 pages long. Yeah, man. Doctor Who magazine. Not what it used to be, right? It used to be like 100 pages long, but like, you know, the Jodie years did not do well for it, right? Did not do well for it at all. So this was not a recommend, right? I have to tell you, this issue is, I mean, let's look at it. This whole thing, the only thing, I'll read the Mel stuff next stream probably. That I'll read the Mel interview, the Bonnie Langford interview, but like I wouldn't even bother reading it if I wasn't doing a stream, right? For me, it's like fodder. I am kind of interested to read this article about why Mel's her favorite companion. What else we got? Yeah, I'm not interested in the henchmen. Like another 5 pages about bloody Emily Cook, for fuck's sake. There's less column inches about Philip Hinchcliffe and Robert fucking Holmes. Give it a rest, darling. Yes, we like the watch-alongs. They were good. Now move on and have the rest of your life, right? Now you can be, 22? I mean, for God's sake, enough already, right? Genuinely enough already. Not interested in Magic the Gathering at all. Comic strip I'm bored to bloody tears by. Trial of the Time Lord. Okay, the fact of fiction is the only thing I'm vaguely interested in reading this issue. Yeah, bit of a duff. So this issue is not a recommend. I hate to tell you, not a recommend. Best bit is probably over here. Let's have a look. So this is getting the Jodie fans very angry, right? And anything that gets them very angry, well, it does work for me. Let me tell you, it does indeed work for me. Why does it work for me? Because they're awful people. They are genuinely awful people in every freaking way, shape, and form. So letter from the showrunner. I prefer it when it's called production notes, but then again, that's just me feeling. At last, Rusty Davies gets to sit down and watch the finished version of the first of this year's Doctor Who specials. Finally. Okay. Is this in between going to gay rights campaigns, going marches and getting fucked in the arse by trannies and drag queens, I should say, or both, or what? Neither, or all together? While you're making Doctor Who, which is something you've written out before. Finally, it's the first week of August and I get a complete episode of Doctor Who. Yes, it takes this long. God, I'm tired of reading articles that say FX these days are cheap and fast. They're expensive and endless. Okay, it's your problem, baby. I don't care. But at least more entertaining than anything that Chris Chibnall ever wrote. Man, he was a boring guy. But here it is, the final version of the Star Beast. And if you... which you will see, faithful viewer, complete with FX and music and credits. It's my job to ultimately sign off in this transmission. So I sit and I watch it for what's probably the 50th time. I sit and watch it as a producer, but this is what it's like to sit and watch it as a fan. Okay. Opening shot. OMG, that's London. Too much London. I like Sheffield. Sheffield snub. Yeah. Listen, the Jodie fans are not happy about Doctor Who moving on. Doctor Who moving on and Jodie being forgotten. And like the speed at which that she's being forgotten is something that they're very unhappy about, because we all want to forget her because she was awful, right? You need to understand that. We all want to forget her because she was awful. Right, opening shot London. So do you reckon it's going to start with a like Rose did, like from space and then zoom down to London? Not Sheffield. Sheffield snub. Icky thump. Is it stock footage? How much does stock footage cost? Why are you yelling? Why are you telling me the very first shot of the new Doctor is from stock? Is that wise? Wait, hold on. In the meta text for in this shot, that RTD told us in the letter from a showrunner is worm eating its tail. Okay, whatever. Music, listen, music. Murray Gold. Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Is it any good? I'm sure it'll be good, right? I'm sure it's going to be good. Man, if it's not good, I can't even imagine. Where are we up to? OMG, the TARDIS. It's Jodie's exterior. She's not been erased. Yes, she has. And yet, by not erasing her, we're erasing the argument that she's been erased, and therefore, is this an act of erasure? Is it? She's going to be erased. I'm sorry. She is going to be erased. Oh, the music's changed. I thought it was going to be this, and now it's turned into that. No, I had no warning. What's that? What's that wind? Is that the TARDIS wind on David's hair? Remember David's hair from the 50th? Love the 50th. How can we ever live this up? You can't. 50th is the 5th anniversary year is so much better than this year, mate. Right? It is so much better than this year. When are we going to see the TARDIS interior? Oh man, I hated that with Matt Smith. How they made us wait to what, the second episode where we or was it at the end of the first? I can't remember. They made us wait to see the TARDIS interior, and I really wanted to see the TARDIS interior. What's the music doing now? I don't like it. Is that Dudley Simpson motif? Oh wait, this is Camden. That's where I used to go to school. I saw this online because fans stood on the spot and took photos. Therefore, I have seen all this from slightly but crucially different angles. I wish I'd been there. I will go there. Bring back the Doctor Who experience, but it's still very rude to people in Sheffield. They're very upset. Yes, he's taking the piss out of Jodie fans, and yeah, there's a lot to take the piss out of. I will not post about this and get reactions to the snubgate. I wonder if all the extras have signed NDA. Probably. How do I become an extra? Wait, the music just went up. Is this Donna's theme? Is it? Are there the same exact calls that played at 4317 on turn left? I think so. I doubt myself. I know nothing, Sivity. This is a basic fan experience. Will this soundtrack be released? Probably. And why can't they release the novelization of this tonight? Well, they really should do digitally, I think. But is it any good or merely 7 out of 10? I hope for Sean's backstory. Will anyone ever go the extra mile, please? Okay. Oh, the Doctor's coat. I like it. I don't like it. Will there be an interview about the coat? There's Catherine Tate. That theme that was presaging her. Wait, this is a scene that has been reconstructed online from the fan footage, except I think certain lines have been cut. Will we ever see those missing lines? Will Doctor Who Magazine print them? And why not? Yeah, look, I still want to see Shooter's interview. Put that on the DVD, man, the Blu-ray. Well, and why not? Censorship. Was it for this clay? Was it for the clay grew tool? I have no idea what that means. Okay. Will the socials repackage or if deleted material or on the DVD? If not, why not? Release the Snyder Cut. Okay. I wonder if Jodie and Peter and Matt and Chris are watching. They're not. Well, I mean, yeah, they're not. Peter might, maybe. Probably not. He's been pretty burned with Doctor Who. But why Camden? Why? It's a pun. Will the villain turn out to be Camilla from State of Decay? I doubt it. Will who is hiding her? Den, do you see Camden? Get it? Okay, whatever. Is this 4K? What is 4K? Will they upscale to 5K and ruin it? Confetti. Was that a Trump thing or was that a Biden thing? Whatever. Will that be? Will this track be cool? What will this be called on the soundtrack? A Camden greeting. When will they release soundtrack for season 10? I thought they just did. And more importantly, what are the backstage secrets and possibly murders that kept season 10 from us? And why, Murray? Why? Well, I think probably because of the popularity of Doctor Who nosedive with Jodie Whittaker, making a negative sales environment to release it. That will be my guess, right? I wonder how many people are watching. Not enough. Do not die, Doctor Who. You get it's time you died. Do you get paid extra for a night shoot? I assume you do. But wait, if Donna remembers a doctor, will she die? Sends text. But didn't she remember him at the end of time? I don't think so. Receives text. No, she remembered aliens, but not the doctor. Nitpicking. Oh my OMG. But wait, look, few. We are faithful viewer. 30 seconds in. Good luck. Yeah, that was a kind of a vicious piss take. Mainly of Jodie fans, but of like fans in general, right? What's this? Okay. Doctor Who showrunner addresses Jodie Whittaker's erasure, sort of. Has the 13th Doctor era been erased from Doctor Who history? Rusty Davies, we said, well, why would we assume it had been? We're all hoping it's going to be, but why would we assume it had been? I don't understand. Yeah, let's read this. Following claims on social media that Jodie Whittaker time on Doctor Who is being erased from Doctor Who history. Who's saying that? I mean, I'm saying I want that to happen, but who's saying that's happening? Returning showrunner Rusty responded to online chatter, sort of. The claims that Whittaker's time on Doctor Who are being erased from the show's history have largely related to suggestions that she's been absent from the marketing surrounding the show. Again, she was toxic to the brand. Everybody fucking hated her. Like, I'm sorry that makes you feel bad, but everybody hated her. Everybody hated her era. She was useless. Oh, again, she was toxic to the brand. So yes, even if Rusty Davies say, "Oh yes, we're erasing her from the brand," yeah, absolutely, because we don't want anybody to think about her. Even if he doesn't say that, yes, that's what he's doing. Oh, Lodgett has been absent from the marketing material surrounding the show. As such, magazine annual covers and that David Tennant, the 14th Doctor Regeneration, already fully in costume, meaning Whittaker's costume will not be seen at the start of the new era. Yes, because she was shit. And no one liked her. Again, if you're having trouble with this, you need to seek some psychotherapy. Davis has now responded online to the discussion in a tongue-in-cheek fashion in his latest letter from the showrunner segment of Doctor Who magazine. In the piece, Davis reacts to watching the final cut of the Star Beast, the first of three, well, first 30 seconds of it, of the look how shit she looks. I'm sorry, she was shit. In a wide-ranging nod to online fan discussion, which also mentioned the Snyder cut of Justice League and Doctor Who accounts for this season 10 soundtrack release. I think it has just been released, hasn't it? David says that he watches the TARDIS come on screen and they go, "Oh, indeed, the TARDIS, it's the Jodie exterior. She's not been erased." And we're not erasing, by not erasing her, the argument is that she's been erased, therefore it's an act of erasure. Is it? Yeah, he's taking piss out and people are freaking out. She's being erased, darling, right? They're retconning the era. I believe he is. Right? He's retconning it and replacing it with lots of chicks with dicks, but I think he's retconning it. Davidson refers to Whittaker's era and the shift of how the show made to Sheffield during it, rather than being set in London, as mainly Earth-based adventures have been since 2005. ONG, too much London. It's a Sheffield snub. I like Sheffield. Sheffield's no anything connecting it to Whittaker years you want to forget. Right? Again, toxic to the brand. It was literally toxic to the brand. I will post about this and get reactions to the snub. Whittaker's Doctor regenerated at the end of last year in The Power of the Doctor, with marking the end of the Chris Chibnall's time on the show and the end of his employment making television, by the looks of it, as showrunner, and the beginning of Davis's second era. How much longer this go on? It's just waffling on for nothing. Fine. Right, it's saying absolutely nothing, right? It's saying absolutely nothing. I don't want to tell you. Speaking of things that say absolutely nothing, right? Speaking of things, let's move swiftly along to where is it? Doink. Let's talk about this week's Ahsoka. Oh, not good. Like Star Wars is not safe, mate, right? So I got the screen grab a little late there. Got the Star Wars just started to fade out. which is pretty much where Star Wars is. Star Wars is starting to fade out. So the story so far is Ahsoka Tano is stunning and brave, right? Well, I don't know the story so far, right? I followed the Clone Wars, and I quite like the Clone Wars. So that's where the character of Ahsoka came in. It was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. They had a great little relationship, and I really, really liked it. So apparently it carried on a lot in the sequel series Rebels, which I never watched because it looked like it was shit. And there was a whole massive bit of lore built up, which I had no idea about. You had Grand Marshal Thrawn, and you had the green Twi'lek chick, and a Jedi, and another Jedi. One Jedi was played by Freddie Prinze Jr., and apparently he died at the end, not before getting the green Twi'lek chick up the duff with a kid, right? And the star of the show, Bridger, vanished into a distant universe somewhere using space wells, I think, right? That's what I picked up trying to work out. So starts off, Ahsoka's looking for a ball map thingy. She finds it, and assassin droids blow up the place where it is. Then she goes to a stunning and brave girl boss, Sabrine Wren, who is a Mandalorian, not for the male gaze, right? Okay, nobody in this show has tits. Okay, just be prepared. One actually has a nice ass. The Twi'lek chick has a quite nice ass, but she's got too much of a mummy vibe going on, and not like a milfy mummy, more like an annoying mummy, right? So then you have a very good villain in the shape of Ray Stevenson, and a mediocre girl boss villain that was in Mandalorian, and they still the magic ball map back from Sabrine Wren, the very boring. I mean, it seems like they're fucking each other. Ahsoka Tano and Sabrine Wren, and the green Twi'lek chick is in it as well. So they find out that there's Imperial people stealing stuff from the Corellian shipyards, and they go and they find out. This is like 3 episodes, right? They go and they find out that there's an interstellar ship being made to go and find Grand Admiral Thrawn, and they slept that out for about 3 episodes, right? So in the last episode, the ship takes off to where the other universe, having found the coordinates. They take Sabrine Wren with her, with them. Ahsoka is apparently killed in combat by Ray Stevenson. I mean, again, he's great in this. Freaking awesome, and just so wasted, right? So the Green Twi'lek chip shows up. Mummy shows up with a few X-wing fighters, and a bunch of them get blown up when the interstellar ship takes off and goes to the other galaxy. So at the end, Ahsoka Tano wakes up, and she's on this weird astral bridge, and there's a digitally de-aged Hayden Christian as Anakin Skywalker. Excellent digitally agent. So there's a lot of fun stuff in this episode, but only if you know more of Star Wars. If you're just coming in cold, not really. And the unlikability of the girl bosses really, really pushes it back, right? So it starts off, there's the planet where they left from. It's got lots of red forests and seas and the temple. Well, this is where they got the coordinates from. That's the blown up map. They blew it up on the way out so nobody can find it. And this is the Twilight mummy going to check everything out, who has actually quite a nice ass, right? I will say she has quite a nice ass. And then this is her kid and the annoying droid, right? This is the Jedi's son, kid from the Freddie Prinze Jr. Jedi, and apparently has false powers. I didn't know. Anyway, they find this droid, who's a good character because he's voiced by David Tennant, right? This is a 900-year-old droid who's been teaching people how to make lightsabers. I like this character a lot, right? But again, because of David Tennant's performance, which I thought was very good. So he's very sad. He finds Sabrine Wren's Mandalorian helmet, says, "I told them not to split up, but they never listen," right? And now they're both missing. Ahsoka, Shadow Warrior. So in the spectral bridge, like between life and death, She meets Anakin Skywalker. All this stuff is great. I mean, like if this wasn't in such a shitty show, I'll be quite happy. So it's like, they have a bit of a chat. She folds her arms to show how freaking dull she is. And Hayden Christensen's like, you're going to have to fight to stay alive. And so they again, quite a good lightsaber fight starts going on. And you hear like the jeer, over the oceans or wherever this planet is. But of course, the stunning and brave Jedi kid, as they pick up Arnold from Happy Days as one of the X-wing fighter pilots, and they said, "Listen, you're in trouble with another space mummy girl boss piece of shit. I can't remember." And it says, "Mummy, do you hear that?" Like, and they go, doo, 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 and they said, "No, listen with the fools, right?" And they hear the lightsabers, and they said, "Oh, we got to go and find them. She's out there somewhere, right?" Meanwhile, back to something that's actually quite good. The Anakin Ahsoka lightsaber fight. And he's like, then he like smashes the ground beneath her and she falls down. And again, if you like the Clone Wars, which I did, this is very cool, right? She wakes up and she's in the Clone Wars. It's a young version of her with young Anakin. And you really get a feeling like you're in the Clone Wars. It's very cool, right? This really makes me wish they just did a Clone Wars TV show. But they'll probably make it shit. And she's like, "But Master, what about my training?" He's like, "This is your training." So this all feels very organic, right? And makes me want to watch Clone Wars rather than this. I'm just impressed with the digital de-aging, right? It's so good. It really, really, really works. And she's like, "Yeah, they're basically like life lessons." And he walks off into the distance, and you get this nice good bit where he like morphs into Darth Vader, right? So you got this very interesting relationship with Ahsoka. I like young Ahsoka, right in the middle of the Clone Wars. Meanwhile, they're going around looking for them. I'm Arnold from Happy Days. And Space Mom is just boring. Every time she's on screen, I'm bored. Look, again, I say this every week. Star Wars is a thing for young boys, which means the girls in it are eye candy. That's their fucking function. That's why this is so eternally dull. So then we're at was it another flashback? I think this was the fall of Mandalore. So this is probably from Rebels would be my guess. They talk a bit more blah 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 about if she wants to live or die, and basically she convincingly needs to fight to live, and that's what this whole sequence was about, right? Making her fight to want the will, having the will to live. And she's like, "Hey, you got the message, Snips." And again, all that stuff works, right? It all works. If only this wasn't so incredibly shit. And then she melts into the ground and the water, and she's in the water, and somehow she survives. And a stunning and brave X-wing fighter pilot picks her up, and she survives. And then he shows up, and he's like, "Yay, here they come." Fine. So Ahsoka's back now, and she has survived somehow. And she takes the bit of the map, and she like false reads it and goes, "Oh yes, she took Sabrine with her. Obvious fucking Lee. Wow, you're a Jedi." Bloop, bloop, bloop. So then she's getting a bollocking from Mon Mothma saying, "Listen, I know you took 3 ships, but we're gonna like put you in jail now because this is a left-wing authoritarian. What do you expect?" And he's like, "Fuck, consequences. I'm a girl. I'm a mummy boss. I don't know about consequences." So Sabrine's got Ahsoka's got this plan of how to follow them. Says, "Hi, we're going to go and talk to the space whales that travel super fast between universes." So they fly up there, and she climbs out again on the ship. So annoying, and out comes a giant space whale thingy. Meanwhile, these ships turn up, and the X-wing fighters say, "You're not authorized to be here," and they try and delay them. Says, wait a minute, you're not authorized to be here. No, you're not authorized to be here. Don't like the alien, and I don't like the girl boss. Of course, there's a girl boss. There are only girl bosses, right? The girl boss is like, wait, what's the mission? I said, I can't tell you. It's classified. There is no mission. That's why you're in trouble, right? So she communes with the space whale, and they go inside its mouth. If I could work out how to do this with young ladies, I would do the same. And they're like, yeah, let me smile smugly. He's like, no, if you don't tell us everything, you're going to be arrested. And he's like, yeah, well, you won't believe this. And out come the space whales, and say, what's going on? Space whales. And they're like, okay, now we're going to walk really quickly, whoosh, and they're off, and they're off to find Bridger and everybody else. And fuck off. Oh, everything about it is just dull. Ultimate Mirabalis is there. How you doing, sir? Yeah, it's so God away as well. It's amazing. It's amazing how you take a property of like Star Wars and just make it dull shit, right? It's breathtaking. How do you do that? Right? And they do it, I guess, by making the Force female. That's how they do it, by just boring girl bosses, right? That's exactly how you do it. Why would anybody want to do that? I don't know. I guess Kathleen Kennedy gave one too many blowjobs for a second assistant director position, right? I guess that what happened. I want to tell you, oh God, what she has done to Lucasfilm is unbelievable. I mean, like, who's a bigger failure, Joe Biden or Kathleen Kennedy? It's tough, isn't it? It's tough. I would say Joe Biden, because he's like destroying the world, where although she's destroying galaxies far, far away. So I don't know. It all sounds bad. Fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. I vaguely remember Ahsoka from the Clone Wars. I watched it, but have no idea who any of the characters are, nor do I care. That's the thing. You need to have encyclopedic knowledge of this boring shite. Oh, Gallifreyan Security. What's it called again? Shade. I like a bit of Shade. Fine. Darren M just posted that Dan is on in 15 minutes. I sadly have to go to synagogue and do this ultra-long prayer service. Oh, this is some bullshit, right? Man, that's what I wish the prayers were, right? Oh, if I could start my own sect of Judaism, instead of my mumbling will be like, oh, this is some bullshit. But no, I got to do my own mumbling. Fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, when am I back? I'm not back tomorrow because I might record something in the morning, do a pre-record. But I'm not back tomorrow. Not back Saturday. Not back Sunday. Probably not back Monday, because the day after New Year's is a fast day, right? Which you're actually kind of happy with the fast day because you eat a lot of food. So yeah. So it'll probably be Tuesday. I will be back on Tuesday. I'll try and drop other content as I can, splattering it, liberally around. That's the way I like to go, baby. Bit liberal splatter. Yeah, that's for the Rabbi. Fine. With that, I'm gonna hit the end broadcast button. I'm gonna hit it again.